Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to this week's episode of Tuesday Preppers, where we take a look at the news that's coming up in the game and talk a little bit about what you can do in that event to prepare and get ready using like killers that you can get in the game and kind of like units that you can use to kind of clear upcoming content and all that fun stuff. So we've got Final Fantasy X coming up this week, and the main event that we have is this one here, Channels of Absolution. It's a King Mog farming event with an aquatic boss at the end of it. And the boss has no weaknesses and is immune to breaks. So really you're just going to be bringing whatever you can kind of cram into your bonus farming team using the units that you've got there at the end. Some good news here. You do get a Waka along the way as you play the event and materials to awaken him to Neo Vision, which is pretty cool. And so there he is just for beating level 1. And then you get fragments from like the shop and stuff like that. Get a lot of tickets along the way. But check this out. This is super exciting for new players. Star player Titus Neo Vision is an absurdly good budget super limit burst damage dealer, and if you can also get the materials to awaken him in the King Mog shop as well. So like now is a fantastic time to jump in, grab this free Star player Titus Neo Vision's unit NVA, and start building up your budget burster right away. So very easy to do that. And you can also see some other rewards here as well, stuff for Waka, and then a couple of weapons here. This is actually a fairly nice pickup. It's a two-handed sword, 170 attack. It gives you a chance to do counterattacks when you get hit, and it gives you Aquatic Killer, which is exceptionally rare in this game, which we'll see more of in just a second. The World Champion is a two-handed throwing weapon. It boosts LB damage, and it also gets boosted parameters when you have Ifrit equipped, and boosted LB fill rate and 30% evasion. So it's a very nice two-handed weapon for a physical unit to just kind of like grab it and kind of get buffed up in a variety of ways. And you can get it to all the way buffed up to +1 in this event from farming the event and getting the rewards. You also can grab 5-star Kimari, who's a really nice support unit who can give your party Mirage stacks, which is pretty cool. And materials to awaken with a 7-star. So lots of neat stuff to do in this event to grab, and lots of stuff you can bring to kind of get bonus points. So here's all the units you can bring. New Tidus, Lulu, Waka, old school units as well, old Waka. The new Vane, Beach Blaster Olive, Rubicante, Barbarisha, lots of units that we've been using recently. So it's pretty cool. You can just fill out your team and get going really good, especially if you pull for these. I am not pulling for these, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. We'll get there, I promise. And then down here is the next two parts of the event. And these are going to be like the kind of challenge stages. So let's talk a little bit about these. The first one is the Holy Beast of Yevon Reborn. The boss is Evre Altana. It is an aquatic Reaper enemy. So again, with the aquatic, oh my gosh. But the good news is, you know, we've talked about getting aquatic stuff, so you should be pretty good on Aquatic Killer at this point. You probably have all of it in the game. There's not very much there. But this boss is 50% weak to water and has 120% resistance to everything else. But the good news is you can hit it with all the breaks you've got, and you can blow it up. Bad news is it's got a mission to beat it in 2 turns, as well as another one to beat it with a party of 4 units. I am going to try and do some clears of this that do both the 2-turn and the 4-party units, 4-unit party, but it might be a little bit tricky and it might not be fully budget, so just be prepared for that. We'll also do some that are just 2 turns with a full team, as well as a party of 4 that just gets it done. So we're probably going to do a little bit more of that, but there's lots of good rewards here. So prepare yourself for Aquatic Reaper, and here we go. The other one, the Machina Protectors of the Ruins. The boss is Defender Z. It's this big robot, if you never played Final Fantasy X, that looks like it skipped leg day. Huge arms, and it does a lot of physical stuff. It's a machine. Beating it and clearing the missions gets you 10 1 out of 10 Neo Visions tickets. So it's a free Neo Visions unit just for beating this boss and beating all the challenges. You get Summoner unit fragments. And that's really good because she's a premium unit, and getting free fragments for her is nice. Part of this event too is that she gets some buffs and upgrades and stuff. So this is a nice way to kind of incentivize us playing the event for sure. Now this boss is 50% weak to lightning, water, and light, and 95% resistant to everything else. You can break his defense and spirit, but you cannot break his attack and magic. Its AI is really simple. It does AoE physical attacks and single hit target fixed attacks, 50% health. So you want to bring, a provoker and an AoE cover unit and let them both have dodge, and there you go. You're probably going to be okay, and just kind of clear out the rest of the challenges as you go, depending on what they are, and it shouldn't be too bad. So we've got a couple things we're kind of preparing for tonight. We're talking about machines, we're talking about reapers, and we're talking about aquatics. Let's get into that. But before we do, I want to just go ahead and pop this up back on the screen. So I said I wasn't going to pull, right? The units, they're definitely not, I wouldn't say that they're like bad, but I just I'm not dying to have either of them. And Waka, I'm going to have EX +3 anyway, because he's an NVA. And I've got tons of Waka units laying around. But like, I really only want Titus's gear for like a couple of different units, just because this is fairly limiting. But I do want it, but I'm not dying to have it. And I'm also not really wanting to use my tickets. Lulu, similarly, right? The STMR is pretty good. The TMR is fantastic. I think this is honestly the better pickup, but I'm not like dying to have it. So, why am I not pulling then if I want them, but I'm not dying to have it? Not even with tickets. And the reason for that is this right here. So we're going to get 10 free daily summon for 6 weeks. All right, so there's a 3% chance for Neovision's units in the pool, and we're gonna get 10 units a day for 6 weeks. That's a lot of units and a lot of potential chances to get them, and it factors into about a 12% chance throughout the entirety of the event that you're gonna get some kind of Neovision unit. Like I don't know if 12% is right. It's 3%. Oh, we'll just go ahead and call it 3% because it is a 3% drop rate. So like it's 420 units. There's a 3% chance. So you should get 3 units. Not a problem, right? It's not guaranteed, but you should get you should get 3 Neovisions units. Yeah, there it is. So I'm not summoning with any tickets. Now, if by the end of this I've not gotten any Neovisions units, and I've got a bunch of tickets laying around, I may throw some tickets at it. But I'm not planning to until the very, very end, because we're getting 420 free pulls over the next 6 weeks. So why would I throw tickets if I'm not dying to have the units? There's my opinion on that. So I'm not doing that just yet, in case you were curious. So let's talk killers. We'll hit aquatic first, because there is none. Tiger Fang's FFBE, Scorn of the Beast of the Dark, is really pretty much it. The best way to get killer for aquatic, in my opinion, is to just farm Ollie from friend points, and that's only 50% each, but it is there, and it's technically free, so you can go and get it as long as you have friend points and get a bunch of Ollies. That's what I've been doing to kind of prepare for aquatic killer for the past couple of weeks. So there's that, and not a whole lot to say about aquatic. Let's move on to Reapers. So for Reaper, if you do the Dullahan Advanced Trial, you can get Undead Killer Plus, which is 75% physical and magic. You can also get Undead Killer from Dullahan Intermediate, Reaper Eater Sense from Stroper, Conquering the Fear of Spirits from Scorn of the Ancient Hellbringer. Lots of good stuff for trials for Reaper Killer. And this is actually one that we're going to do tonight. We've done Dullahan Advanced before with the budget team. Tonight we're going to blow it up with the fun team, because not only do you get Undead Killer, but you also get Machine Eater Sense from Dullahan. So we know we have a machine enemy. We know we've got a part Reaper enemy coming up this week. So we're going to go after Dullahan, and I'm going to show you a team that I diligently worked on stream tonight. And we're going to show you 4 different clears using this team with a couple of variations. That are going to clear Dullahan in 1 turn. So if you're like totally stacked and just for some reason have decided I don't want to do Dullahan, now is your time, because you're going to get Machine Eater, or Machine Killer rather, and Reaper Killer from doing Dullahan in 1 turn very, very easily. Now I'm going to show you 4 different ways to do it. So we're going to go into this and we're going to look at Dullahan together. Here we go. Dullahan is a 460 difficulty Reaper enemy. And here's the details on him. There you go. He looks really cool. And you want to have ice and light resistance. You want to have stop resistance if you don't do it in turn 1. He counterattacks, so you want to make sure you have ways of dealing with counterattacks, whether you're talking about physical evasion or mirage stacks is good. And he also activates an area effect that lowers lightning resistance for everybody, including himself, but does not do any lightning attacks. So lightning is a really good element to go after him with. And then he starts the fight with an all enemy light magic attack at the start of the battle. So you really want to have preemptive magic cover, or have everybody with a lot of light resistance on your party. So there's a couple different ways you could kind of prepare for that and get ready. So we're gonna pop up the actions window there, so you guys see what we're doing here, and we're gonna go into it now. I have to clear out my filters. The first version that we're gonna do is actually really basic, and this is the team that we're gonna take. And we're just gonna use these 5 units. And this is gonna be a 2-turn clear, but very safe. So here's our 2-turn clear of Dullahan using these units. I'll go ahead and show you their gear. Gear does not really matter for this unit. They have preemptive mag cover, and they have more than 100 ice and light resist. That's just kind of what you need. Really just ice or light, really. And then a little bit of ice to help you survive the first turn that the boss does damage, and that's okay. Take a really quick drink of water. Got this little tickle right here. I want to cough, but it hasn't done it yet. So there we go. Ice and light resist, and that's really it. Okay. Sylvie is built for provoke in case we need it for turn 2, and then evasion, and then just like whatever. She's got spirit and resistances and evasion. That's it. Same in both forms. Okay, cool. Her own vision card. Chizuru is really just doing stuff in this form, and is just geared for attack and Reaper Killer. Mine is EX2, so I need Magisters. And then it has chain speed up, LB damage up, a Reaper Killer, the Fravia vision card for the modifier boost. Esther is geared for Reaper Killer and attack, and that's really it. She gears really easily for Reaper Killer, so it's fine. Has LB damage boost, and yeah, lots of attack. And then Hawkeye, totally naked, both forms. He's just here to be our 90% breaker. And there we go. So this team is going to carry us. We're gonna make some tweaks along the way that let us do it in 1 turn. And I'll show you those, how you can do that. So he strikes first with a preemptive AoE light magic attack, which Biggs and Wedge are going to cover for us. There we go. We are fine. We're going to guard Hawkeye the first turn. Okay. Esther is going to True Stormbrand, Energizing Bunny, and Calm Before the Storm. Sylvie is going to Paladin's Defense for Mirage stacks, Paladin's Offense for an attack buff, and Burgeoning Defense. Chizuru is honestly just going to use Eastern Winds to reduce katana resistance for the enemy, and from there just use Focus Strength and Focus Body. There we go. Esther's going to eat a counterattack here, which is not going to be a big deal because the Mirage stack. There we go. And Biggs and Wedge are just going to guard. There's the counterattack. And then he takes his turn. He hits us a little bit, does some damage, tries to anyway, but we're geared too well, and it's not going to work. All right, from here, Sylvie is going to shift and use Leaping Love to boost our modifiers of our LB. Chizuru is going to shift and do her shifted LB. Esther's going to use her LB. And Hawkeye is going to use True Weapon Smack to apply a 90% defense break. There we go. And these two are just going to chain it up because they chain the same. There we go. So that's 2 turns. Very, very safe. We got all missions accomplished on this. Just to show them on the screen really quick. Complete it, 10 turns or less, party of 5 or less, and no KOs. So that takes care of that very, very easily. But let's say you have no patience for a 2-turn clear. You want to get this done in 1 turn because you are just that silly. There's 3 different ways you could do it using this same exact team. So we'll grab some random units here and see what we can come up with. We are either looking for an Esther friend, a Sylvie friend, or a Chizuru friend. They need to be EX plus 2, ideally 3, but does not really matter. So we found a Sylvie. Here's Alistair. We'll go ahead and take Alistair's here. Alistair's got an EX plus 2 Sylvie, so this is going to work really well, and we will go ahead and do this in 1 turn. So we're going to start the same way. He's going to preemptive hit us with the light attack, and Biggs and Wedge are going to cover it. There we go. Now, instead of us taking 2 turns to do this, we're going to just like power up with Sylvie's help, with the extra Sylvie, right? So we're going to use my Sylvie to shift, and we're going to do Bolt, Egg, Basket. I've got your back on my Esther. And then Paladin's offense for a buff and a break. Chizuru is going to shift and do Dual Blade Phantom Shadow. Esther's going to use her LB. Alistair's Sylvie is going to shift and use Leaping Love for the modifier boost. And Hawkeye is going to break. Okay. No surprise, this should do plenty of damage and take out Dullahan, because we did the same thing. We're just missing a Reaper Killer buff from Esther. But this should still work. There we go. Turn 1, we had to add in a little bit, so we're not getting the 5 units or less clear in. Doesn't really matter. But there you go. Still did plenty of damage. But let's say you don't have a Sylvie friend, and all you've got is Esther friends. Well, we're going to show you that next. So we'll do 1 more. And here we go. So we'll try and grab a friend here. Somebody I know, hopefully. Looking for somebody. We'll go ahead and grab Clarity. Here we go. Clarity's got an Esther here. And same team. But instead of buffing up with Sylvie's power, we're going to buff up with Esther's power. All right, here goes. Sylvie is going to be helping us out a little bit. We're going to go ahead and do offense and defense. And then I've got your back on my Esther. There we go. Then our friend Esther is going to use True Storm Brand, Energizing Bunny, and Quantum Storm on Hawkeye. It doesn't really have to be on Hawkeye. We're just using something to get rid of the 3rd action. There we go. Hawkeye is going to True Weapon Smack. Esther's going to LB. Chizuru is going to LB. And lo and behold, you know what's funny? On stream, that worked just fine. What did we miss? He's got defense break. I wonder why that didn't work. On stream, that worked. Oh, I know why. I used the wrong LB. My bad. Here we go. Let's do that again. That's what I get for going fast, right? Where are you, Clarity? There we go. I think I did that right. Let's try it again. I'm not going to edit this out. I'm not that cool. Let's just make sure. We'll do offense. We'll do bolt egg. I've got your back. Dual blade phantom shadow. Bunny bolt. We're gonna have true storm brand, energizing bunny, and quantum. There we go. And weapon smack. And she's got her dual blade here. This should be fine. Yeah. I messed something up, but you can see adding the Esther to do the better imperil, the Reaper Killer buff makes that difference. Okay? But let's say you don't have an Esther friend. All you've got is Chizuru friends. Okay. We can do that too. So we'll grab a Chizuru friend. See if I know any. I'm looking for somebody in particular who kind of set one up for us, but you know how the friends list is. Of course. Of course. The true final boss of this game is the friends list. We'll grab this random one. Let's make sure that they are geared. They are geared. There we go. Okay. And we're going to go with the same team. So what we're doing this time is just chaining more Chizuru. Honestly, we're just adding more Chizuru into the mix. And here we go. So we'll do offense, bolt egg. I've got your back. There we are. True weapon smack. We got to use the shift form LB. Shift form LB. And LB. And this should be just fine. There you go. So that's one way of doing this all missions, 2 turns, getting it taken care of with a really strong team. And it's just fine. Or if you're just in a hurry and you just want to get the killers out of this, you can do it in 1 turn with a bunch of different ways. You know, there was I guess 3 different ways of doing it in 1 turn and 1 way of doing it in 2 turns. So lots of options, but there you have it. So good luck out there, you know, getting ready for this event. I don't think it'll be too hard. Good luck on your polls if you're doing those polls. I won't be doing the polls, but I will be doing the event live on Twitch on Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, hoping to see some of y'all out there and having a good time. And yeah, that's what I got for right now. Be safe, be good to each other, and have a great night. All right, take care.